It's the most popular jet fighter in the world. Most facts about it are well known even to a casual aviation enthusiast. But here's 5 lesser known facts about the F-16. Number 1. Its first flight was an accident. The first prototype of the F-16 was rolled out by General Dynamics in December 1973. The first flight was scheduled for February 1974, and in the meantime, the aircraft was supposed to perform high-speed ground tests. As the test pilot, Phil Estreicher, was taking the YF-16 prototype down the Edwards Air Force Base runway, things got out of control. He raised the nose slightly and applied aileron control to check lateral response. But then, the aircraft entered a roll oscillation so strong that the left wing and right stabilator alternatively struck the runway. As the pilot was trying to regain control, the aircraft started to veer to the left, and Estreicher decided the best way out was to increase power and try to take off. He struggled some more but eventually regained control in the air and landed after 6 minutes. The first official flight took place on February 2, 1974, again with Estreicher at the controls. That prototype was the only one available at the time, and had it crashed, General Dynamics could have lost the contract to Northrop's YF-17. With such an outcome, the world of military aviation might have looked very differently in the last half a century. Number 2. It was almost officially named Viper. Some of you might say, what? Isn't it called Viper? Not really. That is a nickname which resulted from the appearance of the aircraft's front section, which resembles a viper's head. Other sources say the nickname came from the popular TV series Battlestar Galactica and the spacecraft featured in it. F-16's official name is Fighting Falcon. It was probably selected to go along with the Air Force's previously purchased fighter, F-15 Eagle. Viper was supposedly one of the serious candidates for the name, but apparently the generals didn't want a plane named after some snake. Number 3. A special version was scheduled to replace A-10 in the close air support role. US Air Force has been trying to get rid of its A-10s almost since they entered service. In late 1980s, the development of a special variant of the F-16 called A-16 was started. It was to be equipped with 30mm cannon and 7.62mm minigun pods, and its wing structure was to be strengthened. 2 Block 15 airframes were converted to this modification, and they were given the European green camouflage. The main argument behind this conversion was that A-10 was too slow to survive over modern battlefield. But the congressional directive from November 1990 mandated the Air Force to keep 2 wings of A-10s. This meant no orders for the A-16. The Air Force then tried to retrofit 400 Block 30 and 32 F-16s with new equipment, to enable them to perform both close air support and battlefield interdiction missions. The project was called F-16. Equipment for this version also included a 4-barrel variant of the A-10's gun carried in a pod. Testing, however, showed that the gun caused so much vibration while firing that aiming and flying the aircraft was difficult. The entire project was dropped in January 1992. Desert Storm probably contributed significantly to this outcome. F-16s performed close air support in the 1991 Gulf War, but they proved to be inferior to the A-10. Being more vulnerable to enemy defenses, F-16s had to fly higher, and as the result, their weapons were less effective than the A-10s. This leads us to the next point. Number 4. It was a true underrated workhorse of Desert Storm. When you think about Desert Storm and weapon systems used in it, many of them such as F-117, F-15, Patriot SAM, Abrams tank or Apache helicopter will come to mind long before the Viper. But F-16 was extremely important, being the most numerous shooter aircraft in the coalition. 247 of them were deployed by the USA, which translated to 13.2% in that category. F-16 flew 11,698 air-to-ground missions in Desert Storm, which is by far the highest number, and it represents over 31% of total missions of that type flown by the coalition. It came second only to B-52 in the quantity of unguided bombs dropped against strategic targets. F-16s dropped at least 21,000 tons of bombs. B-52 and F-16 together account for 70% of all unguided bombs dropped in this conflict. 3 F-16s were shot down, while another 4 were damaged. This is the lowest coalition casualty per number of missions rate, not including F-117, none of which was lost or damaged. The most famous strike flown by F-16s in Desert Storm was the so-called Package Q strike, when 72 of them attacked targets in Baghdad area. Major Emmett Tulia was able to avoid no less than 6 radar-guided missiles launched at him without jettisoning his bombs or fuel tanks and without a functioning chaff dispenser. The story was covered in an earlier video on this channel, and you can watch it by clicking the recommendation link. Number 5. The type's first air-to-air kill was scored by Israel in 1981. Israel and Syria have been in a constant state of war ever since late 1940s, and even between major conflicts, their aircraft often engaged in real battles. In 1981, the civil war in Lebanon was raging, and both Israel and Syria were involved in it. Israel upgraded its air force dramatically, first with F-15 and then with F-16, receiving the latter model sooner than expected thanks to the cancellation of a large Iranian order. On 28 April, an Israeli squadron commander took an inexperienced wingman on a mission over Lebanon. They were scrambled to intercept 2 Syrian Mi-8 helicopters transporting commandos. F-16 leader had a malfunctioning radar, so the young lieutenant known as Efrati took the lead. His Sidewinder missile missed the helicopter, but then he made a turn and engaged it with his gun. This time he hit and the Syrian helicopter was shot down. For more details, check out our video from the recommendation link. This reenactment uses a flight simulation as the platform, and as such, it is limited in types and variants representing those in reality. Only F-16C is available, and it represents any other type involved in the story. If you liked the video, be sure to press the like button. Become a Patreon supporter to gain access to exclusive content and watch videos before anyone else without ads. Thank you and keep watching Showtime 112.